via the Go TV, and that's 394 channel. And we continue with our discussion, rights of citizens' understanding of Nssf and insurance policy as we draw closer towards the end of our discussion on this Saturday. We'd like to go to the final realities and possibly what our dear guests recommend to those who are in a position to take some policy actions that will be able to be beneficial to the social economic protection and progress of our citizens. We are all workers. And Mr. Milton Tudialeba, he served as a chairperson of the University Professional Academic Staff Union for 10 years. That's the last around 6 years, how I came to know him, around 6 or 7 years, 8 years. And we continue to advocate for the rights of workers. Council, I'm also one of the advocates of the rights of workers.
Oh, wow, that's good.
And I do it passionately. I'm also the vice chairperson. We sit together on the same committee of the University Professional Academic Staff Union. We are resilient people who also want to see the good welfare of workers in the line of academics and so forth, even as it has widened the gap, even, the space for even those who are not unionized workers or farm workers. And some information I want also to share with us as we continue is that in these forthcoming elections of East Africa Legislative Assembly, myself, I'm interested very much to look at including the follow-up of such convention by contesting as a member of parliament for workers to fight for the interests of workers. There are 9 MPs and the interests of workers, those to fight for the interests of workers, I'm one of them. If I'm given the mandate by the members of parliament of Uganda, I can do it very well.
That's good, that's good.
I'm not campaigning, but I'm telling you I can do.
Absolutely.
And as we continue, the Nssf, the workers MPs who have been fighting for the interests of workers, we continue to come to you, and also the citizens who have been not very firm in the advocacy of workers' rights. Nssf, it is a state obligation. If you are a company, you are supposed to be paying the Nssf. It is deducted on the salary. And the workers, as I also join you in the discussion, the workers also are supposed to accept it in good faith and as a beneficiary and as a benefit, because they are helping you or supporting you to save. But we have seen challenges which are not yet resolved. But we appreciate, on the other hand, Nssf, I cannot say that has done nothing. But yet also, a lot is desirable to be done. Council, come on board and give us your view on policy recommendations, because the concerns and of the citizens on how they can appreciate more, to have more coming in for Nssf. I will bring them here, they will encourage us more, so that we can have a better country. You come on, please.
Thank you, moderator. Again, I would thank my colleague on my right about the insightful preamble about this issue of Nssf. He did mention 2 streams of cash flows in Nssf. That is the 5%, then 10%. Now, there is a third one, which is investment. That on every investment which government ventures in, you get an interest which comes to your money. That's why you find that somebody has 400 million, 300 million, you get, because of the 3 cash streams of cash flow. Now, you did mention about, is Nssf related to insurance? May I totally have a different view about it, because Nssf, this is a benefit, whether the peril happens or not, your money will be there, depending on the time frame. Now, unlike insurance, where we first need a peril, that in case a peril is not there, please don't come to our insurance company to claim for your money, because an insurance company is not a saving company. Now, I would also like to highlight Section 19 of the Nssf Act, which gives us those benefits. I will start with one of them, which is not common, the immigration benefit.
The immigration
Yes,
benefit.
immigration benefit. Then in case you are not a Ugandan, but your boss has been paying, you have been contributing to the National Social Security Fund.
In case you change your citizenship status.
Yes, you are going back. You are leaving Uganda.
Yes.
You are leaving Uganda.
Yes.
So you can claim for your NSSF benefits. That's one of them. Immigration benefit.
Yes.
Given at the time when you are no longer interested in working in Uganda and you are leaving. Now, the second one is the invalidity. Invalidity benefit. Invalidity benefit, this accrues when, for example, you are working, then you lose an arm. You are no longer going to work. So NSSF is ready to release your money. Depending on your contribution. This one doesn't apply on the conditions because you have already reached at the point when your money is supposed to be released. That is invalidity. It doesn't matter on the age or what. The only thing, you are no longer going to work just because you lost an arm, a leg, you lost your eyes, you get. So like serious illness, you're no longer going to work. Then we have the age. Age now has 3.
The age.
Yes, the age. When you attain age of 50 and you have been out of employment for 1 year, you are able to claim for your NSSF money. You have attained the age of 50 and you have been out of employment.
50 or 55?
50. That's one of them. That's one of them under age. Okay. I said they are
under age, right?
Yeah. So the first one, you have attained the age of 50 and you have been out of employment for 1 year.
1 year.
Yes, depending on your own reasons. You can claim for your NSSF.
They pay you all your money.
Yes, they pay you all your money. Then the second one is 55, even though you are still in employment. As my colleague clearly stated that actually government wanted to make it 60, he didn't mention 60, but the law says 55. And whether you are still in employment or not, you are supposed to get your NSSF benefit. You are 55. Okay. You should give me instruction to start the process. Then the third one is the one which was incorporated in the new amendment. The midterm access. Now, our viewers outside there, this midterm access, don't think you're just going to get it because it is midterm access. It has conditions before that money can be released from NSSF. One of them is that you must have attained the age of 45. That's the very first condition.
What's the percentage for access that?
I'm coming there. Okay. So you must have attained age of 45. Then on top of that, the law still tells us, please, you must have served with us for a period of 10 years. 10 years.
So I may have 45, but I have not served within 10 years.
Yes.
So I cannot access.
So you cannot access. You know, our viewers, the law is very clear, and that's why the MD during COVID on various interviews mentioned we can't do something without the law. The law should speak, then we act. So now the law is speaking that if you want to get your midterm access of your savings and in NSSF, you must have 45 years and you must have served with NSSF for a period of 10 years.
So analyze, is that good and what do you recommend?
I'm coming there.
Oh.
I'll talk about that. Then the third thing which you can, under which you can get your midterm access is when you have an inability. Here we get the PWs. You can access your midterm incomes from the NSSF. Now, after clearly showing that you have all the conditions I did mention, now you go and apply. For midterm, they will give you 20%. You know, during my school, mathematics was so parallel, but if for example, if it is let's say 1 million, 20% is how much?
That's about
200.
It's 200.
Yeah, that is 200,000.
200,000. So that's the amount you are going to get. So you must get, the law tells us you get 20% only. You get?
The other 800, you keep it there.
You keep it there
until you are 50.
You are 50 or 45 and you have saved for a period of 10 years. You get? So now, when you apply for these benefits, you don't just go in one day and they give you. You get? NSSF has got a criteria in which you must fulfill before they give you. For example, let's say your dad died but has been saving with NSSF. So now that this is now survivor's benefit. If your dad didn't mention your name when he was filling that form for registering
As a next of kin.
as a next of kin, please, they will not consider you. They will not consider you. It's until when they follow, they scrutinize their information they have in their system. If it relates with what you're telling them, that's when they will initiate the process. Please go on. Now, if someone died, you must bring for us.
I'll give it to 1-2 minutes because time is not our best ally.
Let me just conclude this. Now I think the mid-term access, however much it is mid-term access, it is very good, but still the conditions are harsh. Please,
What did you recommend?
NSSF, please.
What did you
and members of parliament, look into that
The legal
again.
framework and the management.
Yes.
They are harsh.
Yes.
The issue of invalidity. And you become sick, you have a chronic sickness, and their specific sickness they consider.
Yes.
And yet there are those which even are too harsh on humanity.
Yes.
Like the likes of cancer, the likes of lung, blood clots. Please, you're welcome, sir. Maybe you can give hope to Ghana that we can have a better socio-economic protection through the NSSF.
Good. Thank you, Dr. Tindiego.
That's in 5
Thank
minutes
you,
and
Council,
conclude.
for taking nurses through the benefits offered at NSSF. I also agree that, of course, there are challenges in the management at NSSF, especially the board. Some of these stringents really need to, if a person qualifies, we labored a lot to have this mid-term access actually secured. Ugandans, you remember, the president was negative about it. NSSF board, managing directors and the Bank of Uganda, everybody was against it. But our question, our resilience was that a person cannot be expected to save when he's weak. For example, you have a salary loan and they are deducting a lot of money, and you probably, like council said, you lose a job at 50. But you have your more money in NSSF. Why can't NSSF bail you out and you clear the loan that was going actually to take, say, your house? Because you have money redundant there.
At that point, exactly. They want to imprison you.
Yes.
And you have your money.
In NSSF.
And it's the only security.
Council has mentioned these
Yes.
50 years as one of the issues when you clock 55 and you are not working. But masses have, employees have suffered in this area. Not even 1 year. The law talks about losing the job for 1 year. But people have lost years and have never accessed the NSSF. And remember, most of them are from far. Even old age. But at least these days they are the system is a bit quicker. You can access your saving. If you qualify, you can access the money within 3 days.
Within 3 days.
Personally, I've already accessed
As
3 days.
So you were a beneficiary.
I'm a beneficiary.
For the 50 years or above the 45?
No, for the 55 years.
Okay.
Not for the 50. 50 is really a problem. To get it at 50, when
problem.
you have lost a job. Actually, not only 50. A person who has lost a job has lost income.
Yes. First when my contract ended somewhere. Yes.
Yes. You can lose permanently job at 30 or 40. But you have money and you may never get a job again. Then why can't you have your money and you go and do something? So that old thinking of thinking that old age was the issue of social security does not apply now, because now even the life expectancy has gone high. Because I remember that one was put in those days when our life expectancy was at 40, 41 respectively.
One question as you come to the closure, because we have 1 minute, 2 minutes to go, as you will give in your final input and recommendation. We understand you were part of our team, which represented the workers to bring the real gist of the matter to before the head of state.
True. And
looking at a number of these kind of conditions that were posed by the Nssf board. What did you agree upon to be the standard? Because this will call for more amendments, and yet your issues that were elaborated call for serious attention.
You see, the Waganda say nyamentonokaya nangeri munkwao. So the issue was first to get the law amended to our favor.
Absolutely.
Then the other issues should be the board to.
Is it for our favor, to even minimum favor? Because
no, when you look at
the extent of favor,
when you look at the magnitude before and now, it is that we scored a lot for the workers. Because now men, I think, are qualifying who have at the age of 45 and have worked for 10 years.
Yes.
So now the issue is with the board and the ministry responsible to put real guidelines and soften on the stringent measures. So if you really you qualify, you have the 2 year, you 45 years, and then you have served for 10 years. These others should be subsidiary, but not be a roadblock to people accessing the funds, because the funds are there. If the fund was broke, you could say, and not all of them will demand money at the same time. By the way, there are people who have clocked 45 and have worked for 10 years, but don't want the money.
Your final recommendation as we close?
So my recommendation would be to the citizens and our savers, one, let's trust the system. Secondly, let the board members at Nssf, as they were given the mandate by the law, be pro-workers.
Pro-workers.
Pro-savers, actually, not
yes,
workers. Because when you say workers, you may, but pro-savers.
Yes, sir.
And soften on the requirements. And when somebody qualifies, let somebody get the savings.
I also conclude by saying that also these conventions, as also a labor rights advocate, should be respected, and both at the international level and East Africa, and of which I'm concerned that I can push that agenda in the legal framework, especially of the East Africa Legislative Assembly. We must be having this. And by the way, I'm serious over this matter. For the last over 15 years, rather 20 years, we've not had specific representatives of the East Africa Legislative Assembly who are representing the interest of workers.
True.
So, Mr. Milton, don't you think I should go and we cry out for the better?
Precisely, because that desk is vacant.
Thank you so much to have come. Mr. Dennis, you've been an interesting discussant. Next time come, you seem, and not only seem, but for sure, you are covered with the really issues of the law and social justice. And we appreciate your company, especially which you are working with, the Nakaze Advocate and Solicitor, chambers, which is located at Nankulabi. And Mr. Milton, to Diareva, please don't reduce your zeal to fight for the workers. Even at the parliamentary level, I will welcome you, sir, in that agenda. Please, thank you. Have a very great weekend, but ponder about this. Stakeholders participate with us in having an analysis on these salient issues that can generate and a sporadic economic social transformation of a country. Countries which have made it better with their GDP to increase and also have a stable social economic well-being of the society, they respect all these dynamics. Thank you. God bless you until I see you next time, next week, as you stay tuned on Smart 24 TV, Go TV channel 9394. Thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend.